Hi, everyone. Today's video is a heartfelt reflection on a word we don't often hear in modern conversations about relationships. Drum roll, devotion. So, I have to start this with a story. The other night, we were at a wedding, and one of our friends turned to Ash and said, "You are so whipped." And then he looked at me and he was like, "Actually, you're both whipped. You two are whipped." Now, he meant it in a joking way, but it sparked a really interesting conversation. What does that even mean? Why is mutual respect or taking each other into consideration so quickly labeled as being whipped? Why is sensitivity to our partner's needs framed as weakness? See, anytime any one of us is invited somewhere or asked to make a decision, our automatic response is, let me check with Ash or let me check with Naz first. And it's never about seeking permission. It's actually about partnership and consideration and mutuality. It's what the Gottman Institute refers to as accepting influence from your partner, which research shows enhances and increases the chances of a healthy, secure relationship. But instead of naming that for what it is, love in action or accepting influence, we reduce it to slang that subtly shames emotional presence. And so I looked at him and said, "That's so interesting that you would use the word whipped. I'd actually call it devoted." Because to me, devotion is not submission. It's not about giving up your partner. It's about it's not about giving up your power. It's about using your power consciously for the growth of the relationship. A few days later, I was having this exact same conversation with a couple of my girlfriends, and I said something I truly believe with every part of me, every cell of my body, and that is that devotion is one of the most important ingredients in a thriving, long-term, healthy, secure relationship. Reciprocal devotion. And for me, devotion looks like waking up every morning to the same prayer. Dear universe, help me earn the light of this relationship. Help me show up, not just for myself, but for the us, for the vision, for the sacred third space that exists between us. And that devotion, it's active. It means being willing to learn how to fight better, to fight fair, to communicate more effectively, more openly, more clearly, to repair faster and more intentionally, to soften instead of shut down, to sit with my own triggers and understand how they're shaping my reactions, and to see his wounds and his trauma and to not weaponize them, but rather to hold them with tenderness. And I'm going to be honest, it's not always easy, but devotion is never passive. Just like in couples therapy, I often say to my clients, the relationship is my client. It's not either of you, it's the relationship. And that's the mindset that I really try to bring into my own partnership, the us, the we-ness. That's who I'm showing up for because love isn't just a feeling, it's a practice. And devotion is the daily choice to keep showing up for that practice. I'm actually going to repeat that because love is not just a feeling, it's a practice. And devotion is the daily choice to keep showing up for that practice. It is what creates interdependence instead of codependence or hyper independence. It allows us to bring our unique gifts to the table and humbly acknowledge our growth edges. And like a plant, the relationship needs tending. It needs sunlight, water, encouragement. and we can't take it for granted. Devotion is noticing when your partner feels unseen and doing something about it. It's saying thank you often. It's celebrating even the smallest of wins. It's knowing when to pause and repair. It is deep appreciation without performance. And honestly, devotion isn't just romantic, in my opinion, it's spiritual. It requires discipline, presence, humility, and service. And it's what the Gottmans refer to as building that emotional trust that through consistent bits for connection, turning towards one another, and repairing well after ruptures, especially micro ruptures. So, no, being whipped isn't what this is. This is conscious love. It's intentionality. It's two people choosing each other, not just in romance, but in responsibility to what they are co creating. We are responsible for the relationship. And when both parties take on that responsibility and take on that awareness, that's when the magic happens. So today, I invite you to reflect. What does devotion look like in your relationships? Where can you be more present? Where can you soften into mutuality? And how would it feel to replace the language of shame with the language of care? Until next time, may you show up with devotion to your healing, to your truth, to your love, because love, real love, starts with intention.